This is Anthony from All Metal Music. I'm here at Fontana's in New York City with Paul from Master. How have you been?
I'm doing great. Today's the first day, the first show. It's a free show, which is okay. It's like a warm-up show for us. The tour doesn't really start until the 11th. I'm playing the Hostile City Death Festival on Sunday, another show in Buffalo on Wednesday next week, and then the tour actually begins in Pittsburgh on Friday the 10th. But yeah, it's great to be here, of course, back in the U.S. I'm back in the USSA. Comedy, but it's good to be back.
How does it feel to come back here since you've been living in the Czech Republic?
It's great to come back and hear people speaking English, you know what I mean, and not worrying about if somebody understands what I'm saying. It's much easier, yeah? I'm happy to be back,
You've recruited some of the members of Disgorge as session members for this tour. Why don't you have the regular lineup with you?
The members of who?
Disgorge or whatever. No. Agoraphobia.
Yeah, agoraphobia and incantation, too.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Why? Because the U.S. government doesn't make it easy for Czechs and Slovaks to come into this country. So I use American musicians. It's easier for me. And it's cheaper, too. I don't have to pay for the flights. Yeah, go ahead. Honest answer, really.
Master toured the States at the end of last year. How'd that tour go?
Was great. Many really packed houses in Chicago. New York City was really good. The L.A. festival was really good. We had a lot of good times. It was a great tour last year. But this year, what I'm happy about is we've got Jim Rowe playing drums, and he's even better than the drummer last year, which is great. He's a real professional.
The show in New York City was just added a couple weeks ago. Do you know why they decided to add the show so spur of the moment?
Yeah, it's a promo show for Red Promotion and Tones of Death. And they wrote me and said, hey, why don't you come and do a show, and it's a warm-up show. And I said, yeah, hell yeah, I'm into playing shows. I don't care if it's free. There's people here. They're going to have a good time. So am I. And it's a good warm-up for the tour next week. A nice girl went by.
Yeah, she caught my eye, too. She got the fuck me boots on.
Yeah.
As you mentioned before, you're playing the Hostile City Fest in Philly. What are your thoughts on playing that, and what are your thoughts on the lineup of it?
Oh, there's some really great bands. Deicide, Vital Remains, really good bands on that lineup. I'm looking forward to it. And again, we just got added on like maybe 10 days to that festival, but hey, I'm happy about it, whatever.
You just signed a deal with Pulverized Records a few months ago. Why do you decide to sign with them?
Because they have a lot of money. They have a lot of great distribution all over the world. They're a professional company. They offered me a really good contract. That's why.
They got quite a few other good bands on there, too.
That's right. That was part of the reason why I said yes. Because I saw the promotion from the other bands as well. It's really good. They offered me, like I said, a lucrative deal. And it's important today.
Have you begun working on any material for the album that'll be coming out on their label?
Yeah, we've got 17 new tracks. We'll start rehearsing and recording the album in December. I've got many tours coming up, Mexico, South America, then the new CD in December, another tour in February and March. Quite busy,
In the early days of Master, that's when death metal was mostly about violence and death and things of that nature. Why did you decide to go with more politically charged lyrics instead of going with the typical run-of-the-mill stuff?
Because I'm not a typical run-of-the-mill guy. Master's been anti-politics and anti-religion since the beginning. The first album, The Pledge of Allegiance. We ripped that song a new asshole, Yeah.
Master and Deathstrike have influenced countless bands and were around in the early days when death metal was just getting started. Why do you think Master never caught on as big as bands like Morbid Angel, Death or Obituary, or even Cannibal Corpse? Their first album came out the same year as theirs did.
You know why? Because we never had the promotion and the money and the backing that all these bands had in the beginning. Many problems in the beginning. Problems with Nuclear Blast. They released 7 CDs in 2 years, which was a big problem. They saturated the living hell out of the market, made a shitload of money from me, and dropped the ball,
That's really bullshit, too, because Master's one of the best death metal bands out there, and not as many people know them.
Thanks, brother. Doesn't matter, you know. The underground people know the band, and I'm a survivor of the underground, so that's what's most important, you know.
Yeah, that you most definitely are.
I mean, a lot of these bands you're talking about, yeah, they're making a lot of money, but they sold out, man.
Yeah, their music's not as good as it was back when they first came out, but you're still keeping it real.
Yeah, it's still real, aggressive, professional, original material. You know, it's like some people say, oh, it's back when, you know, the new record, it sounds like the record from 20 years ago. You know, that's called style. You go and see a band like Black Sabbath, or you listen to Motorhead. Lemmy's doing the Ace of Spades, rewritten, rearranged on every record. It's called style. When you hear Motorhead, when you hear Sabbath, when you hear Master, okay, we're not in the same league. That's not what I'm getting at. But the point is that when you hear these bands, you know right away it's Sabbath. You know right away it's Master, or it's a copy of Master. That happens too. But
you've been living in the Czech Republic for quite a few years now.
10 years.
10 years. How is it different living there compared to the States?
There's more freedom in Europe. You know, I can walk the streets. The police just walk past me. They're not asking me why I look so crazy, or, you know, why I have so many tattoos, or what am I doing. They don't care in Europe. It's you know, it's strange to say, but there's more freedom in Europe today than you can find in America. There's more freedom there. You know, they're not so nosy. Yeah.
When you were deciding to move to Europe, why did you choose to move to the Czech Republic of all countries?
I joined a band called Krabathor from the Czech Republic. The first tour with them, I was with the band for 2 weeks, and we headed to Japan. It was an offer I couldn't turn down. Yeah, I couldn't refuse it. I rehearsed and recorded for 4 years with these guys. Traveled Europe, Mexico, America. I had a blast with Krabathor. And during that time, I was still recording Master records anyway. I never really quit Master. It was on hiatus for a while. The records came out, we didn't tour. Yeah.
I've heard you say that you played Japan with them, but never with Master, but you like to play with Master there. What was so good about Japan that you like to go back there with Master?
The crowds. The people were crazy there. And also, you could sell merchandise for so much money, it was ridiculous, you know? In 10 minutes, I sold 50 pieces of Master on the Krabathor tour. It was ridiculous. The economy there is quite different. Everything's expensive. So we made a fortune. But I mean, the main thing was the fans. They're crazy, little people. We were like giants in the land of little people. It was interesting, you know?
What do you have planned for after this tour?
I've got more dates in Mexico, a new album, a full tour of 20 shows in Brazil, then February, March, another European tour, and probably the USA again next year. We're going to have a new album, so we'll probably come back one more time, you know?
That is all I had planned. Thanks for the interview. Is there anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
Yeah, look at a pretty girl walking by. Oh, hello. Anyway, excuse me. Oh, yeah, thanks for the interview, man. I appreciate the support. Rock and roll. See you on stage tonight, yeah?